Folks, it's official. Pirate monkeys. The Curse of Quay is out now in beta, and it's bananas. Seriously, it's one of the biggest updates we've ever flippin' seen. So enough faffing about. Let us set sail. Set sail to none other than Don't Starve Together's newest Quay Island at that. Now, it's a pretty darn small set of land out there on the water that will spawn randomly in what looks to be swell and rough oceans, aka the deeper waters. Now, no true confirmation on that yet beyond some initial generations here, and there doesn't actually seem to be a way to pinpoint it at the moment, so that's always fun. That said, this isn't going to be an island for the early game anyways. Not with powder monkeys lining the docks, that is. Yes, we will be seeing monkeys at sea soon. However, Quay Island here is full of them, and they're no joke. Kinda bull for sure, but they are horde-like, meaning you won't be dealing with just one. Couple that with their 200 health, 27.2 damage a hit, and their annoying ability to knock things out of our inventories like frogs, and they're gonna be a challenge for sure. If we have anything for them to take, that is. For you see, word of advice before we talk the Monkey Queen's rite of passage mechanic, walk this island with nothing on your person and plan your movements, as monkeys will not target you then. But some other notes here. Much like Splue monkeys, powder monkeys will snatch up whatever they can on the ground, wear stuff, and return it all to their homes. Be warned though, it doesn't look like we can actually get said stuff back at the moment via hammering said homes. To continue though, I've noticed that some powder monkeys rush back home when hit, which is really strange and really frustrating, as when they return, they're actually fully healed. But lastly, new monkey huts are where these guys call home, with 1 to 2 powder monkeys per, it seems, and a respawn timer of 2.5 days. But let's say we've killed a few. How's their loot? Well, they'll drop their weapon called a cutlass that offers 150 uses at 27.2 damage a hit, which isn't the worst thing in the world. Some monkeys wear bandanas actually, and such things will slow the durability drains of all types of ores at the end of the day, as that was me without a bandana, and here's me with one, and trust me, it's very noticeable in game. And finally, every powder monkey killed will essentially teleport an accursed trinket to an open slot within our inventories, and trust me again, these things are both harmless and potentially terrible at the same time. For one thing, we can't drop them or be rid of them in any other way. Not by our lonesome, that is. For another, we slowly but surely begin to transform into someone else entirely as we go from 1 trinket to 3 trinkets to 6 trinkets and finally to the last 10 accursed trinkets. We reach this point, we become a monkey ourselves. But not just any monkey. We are now wonky, apparently. Our stats adjust to 175, 100, and 125 respectively. All monkeys are now neutral to us, of course. Our favorite food becomes bananas. We gain no special interactions with the queen as far as I can tell. And all character negatives essentially become non-existent. For example, changing to Wonkey as Wormwood means we can now heal via food. Wigford Wonky will eat things other than meat, Wanda can heal without ageless clocks, etc, etc. It's interesting stuff, and we stay this way until we get rid of all these trinkets. Oh, and yes, Wonky has Wilbur sprinting mechanics, however it's a little dumb broken for now, so just keep it in mind. So let's just carry on then to the Quay Queen herself. As far as I can tell, all she really does is accept offerings of bananas for various outcomes. Mostly blueprints and the lessening of accursed trinkets themselves. Yes indeed, feed her and she will take away 4 accursed trinkets per nanner, as well as activate the rite of passage. And more on this later. Continue feeding her until you have no more accursed trinkets to give, and she will give you 2 blueprints for a cannon kit and cannonballs themselves. Surprising no one, said crafts are now under the Seafaring tab, with cannonballs granting 4 per craft at the cost of some cutstone and gunpowder, with cannon kits using rope, charcoal, and some new stuff called palm cone scales. Now, palm cone scales appear to drop from palm cone trees, and who could have guessed that one, am I right? targets. Like most trees in this game, they have many stages to them, but even still, we should expect some small amounts of these scales, I guess. But cannons will require the loading of cannonballs, of course, and look like they can be placed off boats too. However, they're most certainly meant for ocean combat, especially with this update. They hit multiple targets, deal decent damage, can destroy structures, can be shot relatively far, and even push our boats when they do fire, as you can see. Couple them with our new rudders that we'll talk about later, and things could get quite interesting. But we ain't quite done with the Queen yet, so return to her, and she will drop 2 more blueprints for dock pillings and docks themselves for another banana. 2 other seafaring crafts costing cut stone, boards, wood, bee stingers, and more of that palm scale crap. Now, docks are kind of interesting. We get 4 per craft. We can essentially make dock bridges now where we please. However, they really can't be built near other structures, really. That and the dock pilings are not only nothing but decoration, it seems. If we place them, we can't place any more docks, but I'm happy to be wrong there. Docks also break potentially, and if one breaks, it looks like all others follow, which is beyond bad and a complete waste of resources. Now the potential is there, but just don't go thinking too much about them as things stand now. But lastly, the blueprint for Quay beach turf itself, which is literally the ground I'm on right now. This is definitely purely decor. So then, to wrap our time with the Queen, let us talk that rite of passage thing I keep mentioning. As long as we offer her at least one accursed trinket, she will tell every powder monkey around to not bother us for half a day. But again, you have to have given up at least one accursed trinket to benefit from this, and you should get it as soon as possible. And why is that? Because this island here has a ton of other stuff to offer us, like monkey tails, found naturally generated, or as a plantable bush later on. Monkey tails are a new type of way to get reeds in this game, I guess. Sadly though, it doesn't appear as if we can dig up the natural ones, and they also take 3 whole days to regrow. But banana bushes, on the other hand, also take that same amount of time to regrow, but can be dug up and transported to wherever we please. So yes, everyone, between powder monkeys and these new bushes, we have bananas on the surface. This not only makes their original recipes way more enticing, but their new one even better too. You want a banana shake, folks? You can make one now. To continue, little bugs called crustaceans are dotted all about the island and can be trapped with traps, but I'm not too sure what else they can do for us at the end of the day. But I will tell you this, they do drop broken shells very often. But they will also drop morsels, light bulbs, and maybe, just maybe, something else, but I'm not quite sure yet. I'm starting to think, though, that there might be something to their light if we can transport them elsewhere. But before we leave the island, a couple last notes. An unnatural portal is very prominent here, and it will spew out random loot very often. That, and I've seen more of those crustaceans come out of them too. Banana bushes, more monkey tails, grass, twigs, and rocks galore mostly though, and occasionally a palm scale sapling to boot. And when you first see it, it will actually be surrounded by things called machinery that can be hammered for gears and cut stone to boot. It's all good stuff, and I'm guessing very, very lore heavy too. But believe it or not, this update is more than just the island. So let us talk the boat upgrades, yes. Grass boats and kelp bumpers are now available immediately, with shell bumpers and rudders requiring a think tank to prototype instead. And grass boats are, yup, you guessed it, grass boats that are just as durable as normal boats actually, only these guys are gonna lose that durability over time as seen at the right there. That said, the drain is rather slow, and apparently grass boats are immune to further leaks, so that sure is something. Plus, we can repair said boats with grass-like items on the fly, so honestly, they're actually pretty flippin' good. Kelp bumpers ain't bad either, as they can be crafted and placed all around our boats to help absorb impacts to our boats so they don't have to. And yes, they are repairable with only kelp, of course. So then, can we expect shell bumpers to do the exact same but with more durability? Yup, you nailed it. But be sure to note that they're also repairable via additional broken shells at the end of the day. And lastly, rudders are kind of trippy as they now allow us to literally spin our boats to point in whatever direction we want and need them to be in to either shoot a cannon or maybe block something with a bumper. It's kind of crazy stuff. And yet we're still not done. Not when the new randomly spawning pirate raids are left to discuss. Yes, they are quite random out there at sea, but there is a warning. A sound plays, our characters react, a sea shanty blares, and the ocean privateers come rushing towards us with a purpose, looking to ram our boats and do much more. Sometimes when we're not even sailing even, which is even crazier. But seriously, these raids are no joke. There's no room to kite, multiple powder monkeys are going to be hopping back and forth, knocking off and stealing our stuff, and there's even a new monkey captain to boot. You're going to want friends, cannons, or maybe even a weatherpane or Abigail if you're going hunting for them for sure. And as far as I can tell, they're kind of really only looking to steal all they can before they choose to sail away and despawn, as they're not really trying to kill us. But if you keep them busy, you'll be the one getting some good loot instead. The monkey captain will drop his battle paddle, which is literally a spear that's a paddle, and it's somewhere between a wooden oar and a driftwood one. A tricorn hat drops from this guy as well, and I believe this thing reduces the amount of damage our boats take while it's atop our noggins, which is actually pretty cool. But best of all is the new pirate map drop that will reveal a new X marks the spot on the land that can be dug up for all sorts of crazy and very random stuff, I guess. But the greatest thing being the blueprint for Polly Rogers hats. Using the tricorn hat, canary feathers, and a black flag, something that could be hammered out of many new flags around this update. The hat will spawn Polly Roger themselves, who is a bird that will literally fly around picking up all the loot it can and bringing it directly to our inventories for a full 6 days. Yes, it's a thing, and yes, it's amazing. But hold up, Quay released a very late hotfix just a few hours ago that added the ocean trawler kit here. That essentially adds a fish farm in this game, but it is way worse than a fish farm. You don't have to bait it, as any fish that kind of goes near it or under it is gonna get trapped, but you can put bait in it to make sure that happens faster, and that's really all it is. You place it on the ocean, there's a fish school nearby, they go by it, they get trapped, you get the fish. It's okay, but they really should have just made a fish farm, because fish schools are random anyways. Are we really gonna want to set these up, stand around, as these fish schools need to spawn by players and then do all this? No. I think they should have just made it to where these work automatically. And there you have it, everyone. The new Wonkey update for Don't Starve Together. Wow. Just wow. I'll see you on the waters. Bye-bye.